Hi guys, I hope that you're very well. It's Sylvana here and I am back for a new video on the Jewels and Gems YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today, we're gonna keep going with the beautiful theme of the full moon in Libra. And for today's video, we will be then doing a tarot pick a card reading. You can watch this, for example, on the day of the full moon in Libra. You can watch this any other time as well. It doesn't have to be at this particular time. Yeah, just whenever suits. The whole point for us here is that we want to try to combine the energy of Libra with the energy of the full moon, and that's how we have this perfect tarot reading here, this spread that will hopefully bring you some beautiful answers from your own intuition and see how that goes for you. So we're gonna have, I'm thinking, 4 different piles. I'm gonna start shuffling my cards here for you guys. And what I would love you to do first before I go any further is just take the moment to take a deep breath with me, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Let's do another one just because one is just not enough. Perfect. Wonderful. Now, as I was saying earlier, we're gonna do, I was thinking maybe 4 different piles, and each pile will have 3 cards, and the cards will be as follows. What do you need to release or forgive? How to regain a sense of balance, because after all, it is a full moon in Libra, so the theme, it is balance for this full moon. And the third card will be very much so a Libra theme again. Where can you find beauty and balance in your life right now? And we'll see how that resonates with you all. Please make sure, before we get started, that you give this video a big thumbs up, because it's always well appreciated. It means a lot, and it shows me that you're enjoying this type of content. So I know that that's what you want to see on this channel. Perfect. So I have all those cards ready. So guys, I would love you first to you can either watch this whole reading and following along, or if you want to check the pile that you have picked in particular, feel free to check the timestamps, because it will all be in the description box for you. So let's get started. So if you guys feel like you have picked pile number 1, this is your message from the full moon in Libra. Perfect. Oh wow, that is powerful. It's the Death card. It's whichever way you like to call it. Some people call it Death, some people call it Arcana 13, the Arcana with no name, whichever way resonates with you. Please don't be scared, please don't be alarmed. There is nothing crazy here. The main message here for you guys is that what you need to release and forgive is kind of self-explanatory. You need to shed the old and familiar to become open to something new. You need to open yourself to new things in your life. The Death card, or Arcana 13, is very much so a card related to transformation. It's about a big change. It's a very powerful card. So this means that this is something you guys need to do. You have to do it. Maybe you know it deep down, but you have not really been willing to admit it, or maybe you find it difficult to do it, or now you have the sign that yes, it's time to do it. And it's so important that the best thing you can release right now from your life in general is those old habits, those habits that are not doing you any good? Are you doing, ask yourself today, are you doing anything? Do you have any routines, any habits, any things that you do on a regular basis that are not serving you? Are you doing things in your daily life that maybe are causing you, that are not helping you in any way, that maybe actually are bringing you down? And yeah, whatever it is that does not serve you, now is the time to ditch it. Do a big spring clean of it all. Start from scratch, start from zero, and this is how you will make room for new things, for better things, for opportunities, for, a more abundant energy to come into your life. Now, the second question is, how do you regain a sense of balance? So if you have pick pile number one, this is the card for you. Oh, very interesting. Here we have the King of Swords. So what does that mean? King of Swords is there to tell you that the best way for you to regain a sense of balance is by embodying a sense of inner strength, but at the same time you have to be very fair and just in what you do. And the King of Swords also talks about the importance of logic, of reason, of the mind over the matter, and how you have to use your mind right now and leave your heart on the side for the moment. You've been letting maybe your emotions take control of you lately, and that could be the issue. And that the best way for you to regain that sense of balance is by trusting more right now your intellect, your brain, your mind, rather than your heart, your emotions, and just set those routines and that structure. That's also what the King of Swords is about. Funny enough, it's about setting routines and structure. So very much so about that, embodying that type of mindset and approach. And then, where can you find beauty and balance right now? Because that is also the question too. And funny enough, here we've got the 10 of Cups. So this beautiful 10 of Cups here. The 10 of Cups is here to tell you that right now, maybe you know this already, maybe now it's time to open your eyes to realize it. But for you, the best way to find beauty and balance in all this madness and everything that's happening around you, and because we are in the full moon of Libra, so we have to talk about balance. This is the main topic. Funny enough, this is a very Libra card, even though it's I know it's some might disagree, but I think it suits very much so the theme right now. 10 of Cups is very much so about relationships, which is everything that's dear to Libra. Relationships, family, is the importance of your spiritual fulfillment, and that this is something that can bring you a lot of inner peace. That maybe you should try to remind yourselves that, really diving deep into that sense of friends, family, relationships. These are areas of your life. This is the area of your life where you can get a lot of balance and a lot of beautiful energy from. And don't forget the importance as well sometimes of embodying a little bit of your inner child. So allowing yourself to not always be so serious, allowing yourself to be a little bit more playful in some ways, or allowing yourself to be more creative, more imaginative, and not, exactly as I said earlier, not so serious in everything, and not so negative, and not so pessimistic and fatalist. Sometimes I like to use that word. Some people can be a bit fatalist, and they don't really think about that importance of logic and reason, as we said earlier with the King of Swords, yes, but at the same time, don't forget that your family and friends and those loved ones you have around you can help you too in your journey. Don't be afraid of that. And allow yourself sometimes to embrace that inner child and listen to that inner child within you, you know, and that will help, I'm sure. You know, like as we grow up, we tend to be, funny enough, people, you know, adults tend to lose a little bit of that beautiful spark that is that is childhood, that is to be a child, and all the beautiful things that come with it. And I think it's so important to remind ourselves that it's okay sometimes to be a little bit, you know, to be playful and imaginative, and to go back into those areas that you know, are what makes a child very strong and powerful in their own way. Because you know, as you are playful and as you are, you know, imaginative, you know, you become also very much so confident, and overall, you know, you just surround yourself with all that positive energy that you need. You know, nobody can function without being in a positive state of mind. Things will look much clearer, much brighter, much better for you. Hope that makes sense. Let me know if this resonates with you. Whoever picked pile number 1, that would be amazing. Let me know. So yeah, that is pile number 1. Now let's dive into our next pile. We have 3 left, so that's going to be number 2. So if you have picked pile number 2, this is your message from this full moon in Libra. So the first question was, what do you need to release or forgive? Funny enough, we just got the 8 of Wands. So 8 of Wands is kind of here to say that sorry, I'm laughing because it's quite interesting. There's a very powerful message, you know, and it makes me smile. A lot of us could benefit from that, not just people that picked pile number 2. 8 of Wands is kind of here to say that maybe lately you have been in an energy that's very, 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 very slow. Slow, that you haven't been feeling much, you know, motivation, inspiration. There hasn't been much action going on lately. So, you know, that means lack of energy, lack of enthusiasm, you know, and with all those things, it can easily impact your mental health, and it can impact your mindset so much. Because someone that's, for example, someone that doesn't act much, or that's not really outgoing, and that's slow in what they're trying to do and the things they are trying to achieve on a daily basis. Well, if you are someone also that at the same time tends to have high expectations, the problem with that is that you can be impulsive, you can become impatient, you can, you know, you can just lose momentum completely. And that is the message here behind the 8 of Wands. You need to release that sense of, you know, impulsivity, that sense of being impatient. Don't be so impatient. But the best thing you could do right now is just take action. You know, stop just being groggy, stop being, you know, stop just being grumpy, basically, and start moving, start taking action. You know, maybe some of you that picked pile number 2 are feeling that there's been a lot of restriction around them, and I would say by restriction it can be just the COVID itself, but it can be also self-limitation. Maybe you've been telling yourself lately that, you know, there's no way I can do anything, so, you know, I'm not going to do anything. You see, it's so easy to fall into that trap, but, you know, don't use that as an excuse. You know, there's still so much you can still do. You just have to remind yourself, that you're worth it, and that you have the potential, and that you can do anything. You know, of course the COVID now is a different story with everything that's going on, but remember that there is certain things we can control. We cannot control everything, and that is the truth, and that is just something you're gonna have to appreciate and accept. But whatever we can control, that's where we can do a lot. So that's the areas where you need to try to make a change. Next is how to regain a sense of balance. So very interesting here. Oh, I love this. I love this. The beautiful page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles is here to tell you guys that the best thing you can do now to regain a sense of balance is you have to set those goals. Yes, you have to develop a plan. You have to jump in, stop overthinking anything, stop complaining, stop dwelling, just jump in, stay consistent, focus on learning, on improving yourself, on educating yourself in those areas that are important to you or that you genuinely love or that you're passionate about. And take decisions. Lately, you have maybe not allowed yourself to take any decisions because you've been so much in that passiveness mindset. Now is the time to go back to being more in an active mindset, in an active pace. And, at the same time, remain grounded. You have to stay faithful. If there's no faith, nothing will happen. We have to have hope. That's how we can achieve things. That's what helps us to stay on the right track, so beautiful. I absolutely love that this card actually followed up the Eight of Wands. I think it makes such a beautiful transition. So yes, for all of you guys, the message here is pretty clear to me. Set your goals, develop a plan, and just go for it. Last but not least, where can you find beauty and balance at this moment in time? Very interesting. Okay, now this card, some of you might not be familiar with this. This is not your typical tarot card deck. This is specific to the deck I am using today, which is the Ethereal Visions by Matt Hughes. This is the Artist. So the Artist is a very interesting card because it really talks about that sense of what is an artist? How can you embody the artist? And I really love again that connection because we are talking about beauty and balance. So being an artist, embodying the artist yourself. The artist, what is the artist? The artist is the embodiment, the physical embodiment on earth of what? Creation. And that's what, for me, this is all about. It's about embodying physically the beautiful art that is what? Creation. So you have to have that sense of allowing yourself to focus on your craft. Imagine yourself being a beautiful artist. You have to dive deep into your craft. You have to dive deep into your art and do something powerful with it. And how do you do that? You cut away all the distractions that could come from the outside. You can cut all the distractions that come with being human. So anything that, we are nowadays so much focused on, like phones, all sorts of rubbish things that we don't need, that are just distracting us from what truly matters, which is the act of birthing something, creating something. It's that sense of you have to listen to that deep inner wisdom, that deep inner self, embody that beautiful energy of, I like to remind myself of Aquarius here because it kind of made sense. Try to embody Aquarius's energy. And what is Aquarius's energy? It's being the visionary, being that sense of passionate visionary that is just so ahead of its time. That's like, an outsider, the underdog, but that's just so ahead of everyone else, and that is just so deeply dedicated and passionate about what they truly love. So try to embody, maybe see if there is any way you could potentially embody some of that energy and try to remind yourself of how can you get deeper into the journey of yourself, like, you know, waking up that inner divine creative energy, because that is where you will find the beauty and the balance. That was a powerful pile. My God, I just can't, you know, I just can't get it how that one was really powerful. Let me know in the comment section below, guys. Did you enjoy this one? I would love to hear from you. Do you feel it makes sense? Did you enjoy it? I always like to hear from you guys. Now, let's move into pile number 3. So, pile number 3 is, let's get into what do you need to release or forgive. And right now, we have the 5 of Pentacles. So maybe what you need to forgive right now is you have been going through maybe some hardship lately, and I totally am aware of everything that's going on, and there's so many people that are being impacted, affected in some ways with everything that's happening in our lives during this time. It's an unprecedented time, and I can see how many of us are being impacted on so many levels, be it with our relationships, our mindset, you know, our physical health, jobs, work, money, everything. You know, it is a powerful and difficult time for many people, many of us. And the 5 of Pentacles is kind of here to say that what you need to forgive is you have to forgive the times we're currently in. I know a lot of people hold a lot of grudges and hard emotions, you know, towards everything that's going on, and it's very hard not to. I totally get it. But the 5 of Pentacles kind of really tells us that the best thing we can do right now to forget and forgive and release is just that feeling that the world is against us, that sense of adversity, that sense of isolation, you know, like it is just not doing you any good, and it's only bringing you down. And that sense of you know, like you are having a difficult time because of everything that's happening. It is a fact, and that is the truth. And but don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to reach out to other people in your life that you know. Don't be afraid to do that. And I want to leave you with one message to maybe help you to release these thoughts is definitely, yeah, try to reach out. Don't be afraid to reach out, because it's absolutely normal. You absolutely can do it. And let's not forget the fact that the hardship will pass. You know, everything comes and goes, everything starts and finishes, everything comes and then comes and goes and then gets to an end. You know, this is not going to remain like this forever, and it's so important to remind ourselves of that, and to release any sort of, I suppose, any hard emotions we might have based around that topic. I would say would be important, you know. I know for a lot of people it's difficult to develop acceptance and forgiveness around everything that's going on. But I can promise you one thing: if you were to give it a try and heal yourself from all those negative emotions, it would bring you on the right path. Then how to regain a sense of balance. Now that is very interesting here. Wow, I love this, guys. You're gonna love this. It's beautiful. We've got the beautiful Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is here. What does that mean? It means that there is a big change that is coming for you. And that is exactly what this card is about. And I am shocked that these two just came like one after the other. It just shows you the power of the tarot. Sometimes, like, it amazes me, you know. And it's just so beautiful. It's telling you that there's a big change that's coming. And what is also telling you is that just like the Knight of Swords, that big change is going to come to you. It's going to come like at some stage, hope soon, you know, and you better be ready. You better put on your beautiful, powerful armor, get yourself ready, and because when it comes, you know, things are going to shift, things are going to start to move. So now is the time that for you to gain a sense of balance. Keep that in mind. A big change is coming, but what you need to do is, you know, keep that in mind. Keep being optimistic, be honest, remain direct in what you do and how you approach life and how you approach everything. Stay brave. You can do this. You know, don't be afraid to be ambitious, focused. Don't be afraid to take a risk soon, because it will pay off. Things are shifting, things are moving for you. You have to remain fierce and powerful and optimistic and positive. It is coming. And last but not least, where to find beauty and balance. And what do we have here? Oh, I love this, guys. I love this. It's amazing. The King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles is here. What does that mean? That means you guys, you have to see everything through. Now is the time that everything you've been working on, everything that maybe you've thought, you know what, I can't keep this going, or I'm not capable, or it's not working, whatever that is, now is the time to see it through. Now is the time to reach those goals you have set for yourself, that you have kept aside and that you have maybe forgotten about. Now is the time to improve yourself in whichever way you can. You know, connect to that inner spiritual self and see if there is that inner wisdom, that inner awareness can really bring you as well a little bit of support and answers. And yeah, just, you know, be proud of yourself, be proud for everything you've been going through and for being where you are today, because it's so easy to forget sometimes our daily little wins. You know, so many people take them for granted, and I see that a lot sometimes around me with my, you know, with my customers, with my one-on-one coaching clients. You know, like, it's just so easy to forget to take the time to just pause and just appreciate what we're going through, and just appreciate the journey, and just appreciate that now we are stronger than we were yesterday. Now you are stronger than you were last month, last year. You've learned a lot, you've evolved a lot, and just be grateful for your achievements and be proud of them, and connect with that inner spiritual self, you know, because that is something that is so important. You know, yeah, see it all through, make sure you reach those goals, keep working, do not stop now. Now is not the time to stop. It's just not the time to stop. And last but not least, we're going to do pile number 4. So if you have picked number 4, this is your message from this full moon in Libra, guys. So the first question was, what do you need to release or forgive? This is very interesting. Now, I could not have picked a more Libra card than Justice. I mean, that is the Libra card. So you can see that you are very much in a Libra energy right now, you guys. You are in that Libra bubble right now. What you guys need to do is very simple. You need to you know, you need to embody the justice. You know, maybe lately you've been having difficulties with, you know, maybe you've been avoiding, you know, how can I say that? Maybe you've been avoiding that sense of karma of life, that, you know, what goes around comes around, you know, that sense of yeah, just karma. You've been avoiding the importance of it, how whatever you put out there in the world, that's what you're going to receive. That's kind of what karma is all about in a nutshell. So maybe you have not really been looking at that lately, or you have not been willing to admit that this is how it works. And it's so important for you right now to try to maintain balance in all areas of your life, no matter what you're going through. And maybe what you need to release is that sense of not being accountable, maybe of not being totally honest with people around you, or maybe you have not been so fully honest with yourself lately, and that is what you need to release. Maybe you have had difficulties just to welcome and embody responsibility. And this is the area that you need to release that sense of not being accountable for your actions, and you're not being completely aware of everything that's happening. Maybe self-awareness is an area, for example, that's causing you a bit of difficulties lately. So yeah, I would say that is the energy currently, that sense of balance between what's good, what's bad, what's what should I do versus what should I not do, am I doing the right thing versus am I not doing the right thing. Everything there needs to be reconsidered, and you just have to see how you can put all those elements together. And then we have how to regain a sense of balance. So beautiful. We've got the Six of Cups here. So how can you gain a sense of balance? Regain, actually. Well, here, this card kind of says it all. It's about the importance of support. It's the importance of family and friends, and how they are here to support you in what you're going through. And that for you to regain that sense of balance, maybe you need to reach out for help. Maybe you need to ask advice. Maybe you need to share what you've been going through with them, with your loved ones, with your family and friends. And maybe now is the time. We've talked about earlier, but here the theme is also quite powerful. Maybe you have to open yourself to welcome the energy from that inner child. Maybe you need to do some inner child healing. Maybe there's a lot of trauma or difficulties that are being held by your inner child that maybe you guys need to work on, and that you need to heal. And letting go of the past is a way to do it. You have to stop focusing on the past and focus more on the present. I know people usually like to say, if it's not the past, focus on the future. But no, focus on the here and now. Don't focus on the past. Don't focus too much on the future either. Focus on the present moment. That is the best thing, on the here and now, and just let go of all that trauma, all those difficulties coming from your childhood that is just holding you back. And if possible, definitely I would suggest something like age regression healing, inner child healing. All those things can be very powerful to do. And don't be afraid to reach out to people in your life, because you'd be surprised how much help you can get. We always used to think, people always think, I can't, I'm too embarrassed to reach out, or, I don't feel it's right, or I'm afraid of what she or he is going to say, and all those things, But these are all self-limiting beliefs that are just holding you back. They're not being truth. They're not being honest. And you're just lying to yourself. Maybe it could be ego related. Just let that go, and reach out, talk about it. It's not like you don't even have to ask for support or help or advice. You can even just talk about it and see how that makes you feel, and see what the other person's feedback or insight is. That in itself can give you a lot of of help and support, I'm sure. And then last but not least, let's finish this off with where to find beauty and balance at this time now, because we need that too. And you guys got pile number 4, you got the moon. How beautiful. I love the moon card. Even just looking at the card, it's just so beautiful. The moon card is about, obviously, the moon energy. And what is the moon energy? It's the energy of that divine inner feminine goddess energy. So where you can find beauty and balance is very much so about that sense of not allowing your anxiety, your stress, your fears, your self-limiting beliefs to hurt you and or impact you in a negative way, basically. So you know, try to work on that area as well. You know, the insecurities you may have, or the mental instability you may have if you have, for example, mood swings or things like that. These are areas that, for example, would need your attention. And just release any fears you may have. You know, this is a transformational time, and the moon is also a card that talks about transformation. You know, it's cyclical, it's always shifting and moving and changing. And here you have to really remind yourself that the best thing you can do for yourself to really focus on that inner balance is to trust your intuition. It's to tap into that inner awareness, that inner wisdom that you have within yourself, because that is where you can find a lot of the answers to the questions that you're asking yourself, you know. And there's a lot of wonderful ways that you can do that. And you know, it's just about being open-minded and not being afraid to do that work, because at the end of the day, this is you know, the most important thing, the most beneficial thing you can do for yourself. It's you know, that self-development and, you know, self-healing. That's the key to it all. So I hope you guys have enjoyed today's tarot reading all about the full moon in Libra. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know in the comment section below, guys, which pile number did you pick and how did it resonate with you? I would love to know. It's always so interesting for me to see how it goes for you. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up if that's not done already. And I wish you a beautiful full moon in Libra, a beautiful full moon ritual. And thank you so much, guys, again for watching. I really appreciate you, and I will be talking to you soon.